Hello everybody and welcome back to BRG Plays Kerbal Space Program. So left the last video thinking about getting a rover up to Minmus. I had a good play with the rovers and the bit I was using was actually a probe part rather than a base for making a rover. And to make things even more interesting, the bits we really will need to try and create a rover we just don't have yet. So what I did ever so quickly is off screen, I took the Rooster Mark IV up, as I'm sure you can see here. I went back to Minimus to a different part, did a bit more science, completed the planter flag and recover scientific data from the surface, and then headed back again. So me saying yes, let's go to Minimus and do a rover, we didn't have the bits we need, and I don't know now. 90, 106, that's 250. It wouldn't leave enough for us to buy the next parts. No, we still don't have the parts we need to build us a rover to get out to Minimus and quite typically pink screen of death. Hang on a second. Always right at the beginning of an episode, isn't it? So now that that's all dealt with, let's go and have another look in mission control, and let's see if we can't take a new mission, something we haven't done yet. Flight, ferry 3 tourists to their destinations and back, land on Minmus, land on the moon and back again. So, here's Minmus, Minmus to the moon, moon and back again. No, we've been out to Minmus, we've done all of that, through to perform temperature scans of the moon, new explore Ike, build new surface outpost on the moon. It's a lot of work. Antenna docking port can generate power, supporting at least 5 Kerbals, so that's taking big things out to the moon. What I was really hoping we would find here is some kind of docking station, which it doesn't look like we're going to get. That's a big, you can see there, that's a really big orbit. That'd be an orbit of Kerbin, but it would also be out, further away than the moon. That one. That's a shame. I think, have we got enough? Should we build ourselves a space station and then have a go at docking with it? Should we try that? Should we try the basis for Duna? We took the Duna missions. Did we take Ike? No, we didn't take Ike, so let's take Ike. Let's accept those. We've got ourselves over 1 million credits. We've got 532 science. Let's go and have a quick look in the R&D department. So rovers are on hold for now. Is there anything I think that's going to be advantageous to us for trying to get out to create a seismic experiment? It's a science experiment, and that is a tiny transmitter. No, that's not really use. High power electrics, that's the absolutely massive, huge battery pack, and a fuel cell. There's fuel and oxidizer to be converted into electricity, so that's quite cool. But we should be in a good enough position with solar panels on our craft or our space station. So what we need to do is we need to decide what we want to do, and what we want to do is create a station in orbit off Kerbin that can hold Kerbals, recover scientific data and have things dock with it. That's what we want. So we don't need to worry about supersonic exploration. No, we don't need that. Mobility enhancer, advanced telescopic extension. I think that means it's a telescopic ladder. That could be quite handy. Precision engineering. What's that got for us? See, because we're at the point in the game now where I haven't really got much further than this, because we've been out to Minmus, been there, done that. So I'm just trying to look at what I think it is we're going to need to get us big reaction wheel, burner engines, monoprop tank. We're doing a space station, so realistically we need docking ports more than anything else. And we do have the small docking ports. Yeah, I think we'll leave the science from there. I think rather than worry about getting science, let's have a go at building ourselves a little space station. To build a space station, we're going to need somewhere to actually dock properly. That's the problem there, because we only have, there's a docking ports utility, that docking ports. We only have the Clampetron Junior. So if I just show you, for example, if we take up this can, let's put a fuel tank on this one quickly, and then if we pop on our, is it going to let us put it on the sides? Yes, it is. So that's essentially, that's a docking port, so you can then cross-feed fuel and everything like that with them. So we'd get something up in space and one of those and take something else up and dock to it. So is it, you know, that means that we can dock, and we can yeah, I've not done it before, so it's going to be fun. We're going to try it. We'll use monopropellant for the docking, and we'll get into some of the extra controls that you'll see that'll be down here when we actually get up and out. So what we want to do first of all is build ourselves a satellite. So if we start with the Probodobodyne as the computer control part, and then from there we will add a battery pack to each end of it, like so, because ideally we want it to look the same. There's a reaction control wheel in there, and there is SAS as well, I believe, but that's fine because we'll be taking it up. Well, we could take it up as completely unmanned, but I don't want to do that. I want to take up 2 Kerbals. Okay, so there's that. So we've got batteries, we've got that. Let's get our solar panels, 3x2 and 1x6 photovoltaic. So we use the 3x2s, and we'll use 2 of those. It's on the side there like that. Again, this will be something that just constantly stays up in the atmosphere. You know, nothing else is gonna be with it. It's just gonna be this. So let's attach some fuel tanks. We don't need anything too big, I don't think. One of each of those, like so. Or do we use monopropellant? See what I'm thinking is I want to have a unit that will go up, stay up where it is, and we'll be able to dock with it. But to be able to dock with it realistically, what we want is a nice structured bit in the middle, because at the moment I'm just taking up a tiny bit of fuel to help power. So if we go to fuel tanks, have we got any monopropellant tanks other than those? I'm guessing not. Okay, not the end of the world. Actually, let's bring them in like that, and then we can pop the actual monopropellant engines on here, and we do 4 of those for the best control. The same again down there. Where did they just go? Did I just pull them off by mistake rather than actually clicking them? Yes, I did. Okay, not a problem. Bit of a dodgy looking satellite, is it? And there's no science experiments on this, and there's no communitrons, which, unless that's got one built in, but I don't think it has. No, so we'll need to pop some communitrons on there, and that's fine. We'll get some of those on. So let's get into science. Let's use some of atmospheric fluid spectrums. Okay, new science experiment. Very cool. Very cool. Not seen that before. I've no idea what it is. We're going to use that at some point. Let's pop on the comms. Let's pop them on. Oh no, we just want one. Thank you. Let's just put one on there. Yeah, that'll do it. Just needs the one. So I'll have the computer on there. So that's fine. So we've got power, the ability to recharge it. We've got 2 pods for Kerbals, and we have a probe unit for SAS. So, Bill and Bob. Should we take Bill and Bob up? Let's take Bill and Bob. Let's have an engineer and a scientist up there. for fun. I can't think of any other reason to put them other than the fact that it might mean that Bill stops trying to jump in the pilot seat of every craft we make. And rather predictably, we have another pink screen of death. So yeah, a quick pause and I'll be back in a second. So, back from pink screen of death. It's a rather dodgy looking satellite at the moment. I will confess, I'm not entirely happy with how this looks. But it is just a satellite. It's there to serve a purpose. It'll have its antenna and we need to be able to dock with it. So, let's put on some docking ports. Let's put one on the bottom. We can get it to... Oh no, let's spin that around. So pop one there, and then you see, realistically we need to be able to get out. We need to be able to, can we? I don't think there's fuel crossfeed on these things, is there, or anything like that. I think that causes problems. We won't be able to crossfeed if we put a little strut out. Okay, I guess it's literally just going to have to be... Oh, let's try it. It can't hurt to try. If we put that there, just to get... Oh, come on. Thank you. And then that on there like that. I wonder if they'll crossfeed. So basically all this means is we can either come and attach something straight to this end of it, or we can have a ship that goes sideways and docks into it and then takes the fuel from here. That is essentially the idea, but it's the very beginning of a space station. It can take two Kerbals, can control itself with monopropellant. Granted, not an awful lot of it, but some nonetheless, and that has a bit of monopropellant fuel in it, so does that. We have the unit. Yeah, that could well be our first satellite we're going to put. Let's just put it up into orbit, instead of me getting all like, oh, it doesn't look very good and I don't like it, doesn't it? You know, I'm just here to show you how to put something in orbit and dock with it, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to call this, I mean, it looks like a piece of cack. Docking thing. Mark 1. Yeah, docking thing. That's fine. Yeah, that's good. We like that. That sounds all professional and stuff. So, brilliant. There's that. Wonderful. Points and everything. Let's get ourselves a little decoupler on the end of that. And then underneath that we shall place ourselves a fairing. So let's go ahead and just pop the fairing on underneath that. Like so. Like so. Like so. Like so. And like so. Okie doke. So there we have the satellite itself to get up into orbit. With this we will use a orbit stage, because I always do. So there's an orbit stage there with an engine just to push the final bit into orbit, and then we will use a launch stage to get this up into the air. So if we get ourselves another decoupler there, then we use the adapter. That was the wrong adapter. What's that for? It's for tiny stuff. Yep, Rockomax brand. Let's pop that on. And then, are we going to need a lot with this one? I think, although that other craft, the other craft has got a lot more power behind that, hasn't it? Yeah, okay, so let's just do our usual, something for orbit. Absolutely chuffing huge. Pop that on there. Let's get our nice, solid, massive, great big kit. The twin bore liquid fuel engine, which is now currently stuck into the floor. Yep, fine. More tall than I thought it was. Yep, okay, fine. Not a problem. We'll use the winglets as we always do as well. So let's get the wing. That's a nipple. That's not a winglet. These are the winglets, and we'll put those on in fours, like so. And then, as usual, we'll come down to structure and we'll put our... I don't want 4 of those this time. Just the 2. And we'll get the kickbacks. Yep, let's have them on there like that. Yep, no clipping, no nothing. Wonderful. Now we need the nipples. We'll put the nipples back on top. In fact, have we got different looking nipples? We have different looking nipples. What are these offset ones? Yep, little off. Oh dear, no, that didn't work. Yep, some offset nipples. Just because it looks different. Never done those before. Let's pop those on there. So obviously I've shown you this. I've shown you the build. I will just stick it up into orbit quickly. I'm not going to make you watch it. That's sort of strutted on there nicely. They hold nicely where they are. Yep, let's get this up into orbit and see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not we can cross-feed fuel from that to something else. I'm also starting to think that I may make a really small little plane to pop, or maybe one on each side to take up, and we can dock one with it and dock another one with it, and then just use a little plane and maybe just fly it to the moon for fun and back again, because it's a plane, not a rocket. Who knows? Who knows? But for now, we're just going to go ahead and dock. So I will put this on pause, and I will get it out to the into orbit. And then, in fact, no, well, let's have one go at doing it on the screen. Why not? It normally goes wrong, but I'll have a go at doing it on the screen. Let's just make sure everything. So that's going to fire. That will fire at the same time. Then those will come off. Then those two will fire. Give that a little bit of thing. The fairing is there, realistically, and those pop off. And then when that fires, with the fairing, yeah, that's fine. That'll do. That'll do. And then the final part will be that decoupling and it being in the right place and where it is, and we've got my propellant to move it as and when we need to. Okay, fantastic. The docking thingy Mark 1, let's give that a save and let's pop this bad boy out to the launch pad and see how we do it getting into orbit. Yes, we do have Kerbals on board, but yeah, we have Kerbals on board. I'm thinking, oh, maybe we should put parachutes and stuff on the satellite and things just to make things. No, we're not going to do that. If they need to come back down, we're going to have to go and get them. Forcing our hand, I like it. So SAS is on, throttle to about a third, and the docking thingy Mark 1 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and away we go. I love that exhaust effect. I think that looks really cool. So let's move this over a little bit, and it's not sped up at the rate of knots I would have expected it to. With those solid rocket boosters at full throttle, I would have thought they'd have gone a bit quicker than that. So perhaps it's a little heavier than I first thought, but not to worry. Not to worry. We are still heading up at a fair old rate of knots, and our rocket looks an awful lot better with that fairing on. I hope you'll agree. I think it looks a lot smarter. I think it looks an awful lot smarter. Yeah, we shall wait to see what happens. Not the greatest of gravity turns at the moment, not quite over as far as I'd like to have been, and I am literally glued to my nav ball here, just trying to make sure that we don't end up. So this stage is soon going to be over. So we'll get rid of those, speed up. That was close, and let's head out and try and get this gravity turn. I mean, yeah, the gravity turn again is a disaster. It's not a very good gravity turn. This is a very difficult rocket to control, as I'm sure you can tell by my nav ball. I mean, just, it's all going on. It's like I'm trying to fly this on time warp. I have no idea what... I mean, look at it. This is just the SAS unit. I mean, look at that go. What the actual flip is occurring there? I mean, we've got bits popping out the side of the fairings and everything. So structurally, it's just not very sound. Alright, it really isn't. That just did not work. It just did not work in the slightest. Now, I mean, come on. This is crazy. We get back towards some kind of... No? Okay, fine. Revert flight, revert to vehicle assembly. Let's get... let's try and get this a bit more structurally sound. I suppose, I mean, that is really long and there is no struts holding it together, so it's going to wobble like crazy. Let's have a go and do my usual trick, which is to pop these on here. It's ugly as sin, but it does do the job, and it does do the job nicely. So let's see if this will have the kind of desired effect. Well, that didn't work straight away. Okay. What about from there to there? Okay, so that works. That's fine. That's wonderful. Now, how are the fairings going to hold up with having struts put on them? No, they're not, are they? Of course they're not, because that would be far too easy. So if we try and put those on there, yeah, that's not going to work. That's fair enough. It shouldn't work. So that's going to make that a lot more steady, but that's still going to wobble like crazy. So the argument suggests that this is once again probably not the best design. So let's pull that off, remove the fairing, pop it back on, and do we launch? I don't want to launch like that. It looks revolting. You know, it doesn't look anywhere near as nice as what we had. And aerodynamically, I mean, that's just cack. Absolute cack. That really isn't very nice at all. No, that's just disgusting. Away you go. I'm not interested in that. I'm gonna try and think of a way to make that work. Can you put things on the outside of a fairing after it's on? I wonder. No, I don't think you can. Sorry, I went completely quiet then. I really don't think you're going to be able to actually attach struts to a fairing, no, because it's just going to move. So we've got no way of keeping that locked in together with that. Well, that's a real disappointment. It really is. No. Then why don't we try and get rid of that, pop that on there, makes it an awful lot lighter, it makes it an awful lot shorter, strong engine still, will that work? Oh no, that won't work because you've already pressed it, so let's take those. Nope, that didn't work either. Interesting. Let's just have a look and see what it's like when it's this much shorter. If not, I may just pause the video here, go and have a little play and see what I can't figure out. Let's give this one a go. A lot lighter, so we should be a bit more quick off the launch pad, should being the operative word. To those of you who've just joined us watching BRG Space Program, this will be the first of very, very many mistakes. As you can see, I even managed to launch off centre then, because I didn't have the stability enhancers on, which I should have done. But we are gaining speed at a much greater rate here. Let's just see if I can't keep our thrust vector to the right hand side of our prograde vector and just keep, come on, no, it's just wobbling like crazy still. So I need to make this a lot more sturdy. That's the general consensus, I think, from where we are here. I'm not even sure now if we will have enough fuel to get, I mean, we're right, I don't know if you lot can see, okay, look at this. Look at this coming straight out of the fairings. That was some seriously bad news there. Yeah, we got all kinds of problems because it's not strong enough. It's just not strong enough, and that's fine. It's not a problem. I mean, look at it go. I'm impressed. Really impressed. So obviously, as most people watching this can tell, physics don't work like this. this spaceship would not be in a good place. It'd have blown itself to pieces. What's it doing on the map view? Is it just, yeah, not a great deal. It's just, yeah, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And we're out of fuel there. Fantastic. Fairings off and that out. And now all of a sudden it can control itself. Look. Yay. No, I don't think so, somehow. So, fairings all nice and well and good and stuff. And I got all excited about using them. But they do actually make it a lot tougher to play. Because you just can't strut anything. So, as much as I hate to say it, the fairings are off. They're gone. They're out of necessity more than anything else. And now I need to pop the disgusting looking girders on and start strutting this up properly. So it's going to have to be from the outside of the monopropellant tanks. No. Right. Go away. Go away. Go away. Oh, look at this. Well, let's try this again, shall we? Let's load. Don't save. Oh, what a nightmare. Come and watch BRG play Kerbal Space Program, and what he'll do is actually just be crap and not show you how to do anything. So what did we call this one? I can't even remember what we called it. The docking thingy, I think it was. Yeah, that's it, the docking thing Mark II. So let's load the docking thing Mark II. Let's get rid of that. Come on, off. Thank you. Get rid of that and pop that back on there. And then we get our struts and pop those on there. Girders, sorry. Pop those on there. And then the only thing I can think of realistically is to actually, because it's not. No, it's not. Okay, so it's not actually going on there. It's trying to get on underneath, which doesn't work. So let's pop them there like so. And then some more struts from here down to here. Nope, apparently not. Come on. And then onto here. Oh, for goodness sake. I somehow managed to not. So it was translated to 4 on there, but it didn't do it onto there. Alright, whatever. Whatever. Is what it is. Not grumble too much about it. And there we have struts clipping through the sides of our engines. So again, that looks absolutely dreadful. That just won't work. In fact, it clearly doesn't work because they're not even attached there. Okay. What to do? No, so they just need to come off. We need to shut up. Go away. We've got those on there. Do we just dual strut it? What? No. I only want 2. So now I'm going to have to put one on one at a time, basically. That's what you're saying, isn't it? Now I've got to put it on one at a time. From there. And now you're not going to work again. Can you tell I'm getting angry? Frustrated, rather. I'm getting frustrated. There. To there. And then we'll do the same on this side. And this really is trial and error, folks. It's just a case of seeing if this will actually make the difference. Just to keep it a little bit more in control. And now I'm going to have to remove the communitron from there and pop it back here like so. And then we need to get ourselves a nose cone on here. That's not a nose cone. What is that? It's an adapter. Okay. Into aerodynamics. Do we have any ridiculously long nose cones? Yes, we do. Does that look stupid? Wonderfully so. Yeah, off you come. Not even slightly funny. Let's pop on a circular intake. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's just pop on the advanced nose cone type A. There we go. A bit noddy-ish, but then it's going to look rubbish when it's out in space. I don't like that. So when it gets out there, off it. No. Okay, so that's not going to work either. Nipples in space. Don't have a choice. It is what it is. It's nipples in space. It's what it's going to have to be. With that in mind, I don't want to block them in, so I'm now going to have to reposition these just so they have less aerodynamic effect. And lights. I'm going to remember lights this time. Yay, something like that. Illuminator Mark II. Let's go for lights. Let's go for 4 lights, and let's go for 4 lights there, like that. Yeah, that should be quite cool. In fact, we're just going to rotate those a little bit so that they're pointing more down the craft than anyway. So I mean, aerodynamically they're going to really suck, aren't they? Yeah, I'd say so. Pink screen of death, wonderful, back in a second. And welcome back from the wonderful land of pink screen of death. Now that's all dealt with. Give this a quick go on screen, just see if we can't get it up there. And if not, I'll just come back and redesign it. Maybe try and hold it in a different way. If I do try holding it a different way, different stages and things, I will of course keep you in and show you, or keep you and bring you in and show you. So let's save this as the Mark 4. Oh no, I think it was actually the 3, wasn't it? Yeah, it can stay as the 3. So we'll save that. Let's head this out to the launch pad and see where we get. Whenever you're ready, computer. You know, yeah, just take your time, we don't mind. No launch stability, I mean, look at that. That says it all right there, doesn't it? It's just not going to work. We'll see. I've gone full throttle all the way, just trying to get ourselves over a little bit. It looks like it's wobbling like the clappers, and of all times to get it, another pink screen of death in pretty quick succession. I mean, yeah, it's gone. I've lost that completely. Okie doke, no idea what's going on here. I'll be back in a second. I should just cancel pink screen of death. So yes, aerodynamically, satellite, not ideal. Too long to use fairings, can't strut anything. Yeah, I'm a little unsure as to how to continue, other than just trying something ever so quickly. If we pop those there, same again down there, and then we use the girders here on a 4-way. Like so. Will we be able to then use a fairing? Yes, they'll stick out of it, I understand that, but it's not like they couldn't be built to do that. You know, it'd just be they'd be on either side of it rather than sticking through the middle of it, as it will be like this. They won't stick out of it, they'll actually stay inside it. Okay. No, I'm not interested. Just, oh my word, right, okay. So it's having an absolute freak out. Right, go away. So, putting that in place brings that way together. So if we then go back to our struts and strut like so. Yep, that's all there. That'll make that a lot more sturdy. And then if we can pop the fairings back in now, like so. Like that. No, that just doesn't work. That just doesn't work, and fair enough it doesn't work. I understand why, all the parts clipping, everything going wrong, but it now means it needs to try and... Yeah, this isn't going to work. It's not going to work. There's too much going on, and aerodynamically, I believe the aerodynamics is what's causing the problem. I could be wrong, it might be something else. I doubt it though. I'm pretty sure it's the aerodynamics. I mean, that's quite shocking, isn't it? Let's be honest. Let's call it the Mark IV. Let's put some launch stabilisers on it. Let's just see what happens, folks. Yeah? It can't hurt to try. BRG at its best. Just failing pretty miserably with most things. Helps there, then off that, and then that as it is, and it's got its monitor panel. Yep, sure, why not? Let's give it a go. Let's get this on the launch pad and see what happens, folks. If this doesn't work, I will just go off and just continuously launch it into orbit until I actually figure it out and get it to work. That'll be the intention. So 5, 4, 3, what's going on? Why Bill? What? Why Bill? Where's the other ones? Oh, I could have sworn we had Bill and Bob in there. Could have sworn we did. I bet that's happened every time as well. Everyone's been like, well, oh, I just recovered flight rather than... Yeah, okay. Whoops. Oh, well, we didn't lose any money, and it's still there. Happy days. Bill and Bob, in you go. There we go. Let's launch this bad boy. So the idea behind taking up the engineer is so that if we do get up into orbit and we get the station nice and sorted, he will in fact be able to perform maintenance for us, which is pretty cool. He can go out and he can take solar panels off of one place and put them on another, and all kinds of weird and wonderful things that he can do. So pretty standard launch so far. I'm just trying to move over a bit for our gravity turn, just to try and get it going a bit better than it is at the moment. And also those funny shaped nipples, I've not used those before. It may be their fault. It may be all down to the dodgy nipples. If you can hear me clicking away frantically on my keyboard, just trying to keep this in line, and it's not going to happen. I mean, look at that. Why? I can't see why that's happening. Not overlay, not gauges. What? Where is it? There's something that you can do to pull up your aerodynamics, and I can't remember where it is. I'll just quick save by accident. What have I done there? F3 flight is that? No, it's not it. Okay, no idea. So as for what's occurring here, I don't know. Oh, we've got some kind of polar launch going on. We're not high up enough, so the temperature's disgraceful. Yeah, it's just not working. And I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I'm really not. I honestly couldn't tell you. And look at our flights just fly down there, because we're still far too far into the atmosphere. And what have I separated that without? Is there no engine on that? Yes, there is an engine on it. Okay, well that's. And this flies perfectly. Does exactly what I tell it to. It's quite happy. Yes, that's me for flipping it all over the place like that. I'm spinning it all the way around. That's me, and I stop it, and it does as it's told. Yeah, it's just that other stage. It's a bit of a problem for us. Oh well, okay. We'll revert flight back to the vehicle assembly. I'm gonna go and have a little cry. I've got goddamn pink screen of death again as well. I'll have one more go at trying to get this up there. After clearing pink screen of death. I'll change the nipples around because they're doing my head in. They just don't look right. Where are they? There we go. It's quite hard to see what. Thank you. I'm just not sure. I'm really not. Let's go one more go. One more go for launch. So even with pink screen of death, I'll play through it. I'll have one more go at it, and if it doesn't work, I will go off screen and just get it done slowly. Okay, I mean, look at that, it wobbles so much, and yet that's strutted to hell. I don't know why. Let's try. I mean, look at that, the way it's throwing. It might just be something to do with the fact that the parts I've got on there, the small parts in the middle and stuff, and the big heavy bit on top of it, it just doesn't work. I mean, I've only done it for symmetry. I've not done it for any other reason other than to be symmetrical. That's the only reason I've done it. And we've lost it already. That's unbelievable. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. Where's he going? Well, then they're off. Who needs the red arrows, eh? And that's what we'd have been left with in space, which I could have handled. That wouldn't have bothered me. I'd have quite like that. Oh, look, all lit up and everything. Wonderful. That engine is off, mate. Look at him go. Having a whale of a time. But Christ alive! Anyone else coming back? Where's the other ones gone? Oh, I can't see them. Okie doke, yep, okay, so I'm starting to lose my patience a little bit. With myself, not with the game. I know this is my fault. I'm gonna bugger off for a minute, have a play, see what I can see what I can do, see if I can figure out a way to make this stronger and yet aerodynamic. Which I may not be able to. We may just come back and I'll be like, right, we've been there. I might even just pop this episode up and be like, and this is a really crap one, don't bother watching it. Christ. Yeah, I've got the idea right, but it's just not working. It's just not working. Perhaps I should be concentrating more on trying to get out to do than doing really silly things. But then I really want a space station so that I can get fuel up and dock fuel and go from there. Okay, either way, I will be back in a minute, folks. I shan't be long. Okay, so I'm going to bring you back in here. I made a slight adjustment to it. I literally just took the whole top off and added a nose cone to it. I didn't really have to do much else. Just going to head out for orbit now with a bit of luck. Hopefully we've got just enough fuel to get us to orbit. We've got a nice apparatus at 79,000, so with the fuel that we've got in the end of this stage and the other stage, we should, with a bit of luck, well, quite a lot of luck actually, let's not pretend it's not that, we should have just enough to get us into orbit, get the first satellite up there, and then try and send up something to dock with it. Just the smallest of crafts. It really will be. I'm not worried about it being big at all. I just want to be able to go up, get it docked, and go from there. Let's see. Can we get it? We can't get any time acceleration. Of course we can't. That'd be far too easy. How much fuel have we got? Not a great deal, but more than enough for orbit, which is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I'm just going to stop it there, walk towards the apparatus a bit more, just for a bit more fuel efficiency, and try not to zoom past it too much. And we've swapped places. What's that? 95 and 86. Yeah, that'll do. So that's that up into orbit. Nice and simple. Did we keep the lights on it this time? Yes, we did. So we shall. Such a waste, isn't it? I know, it's dreadful. Jettison that stage off. And here we have our first satellite. It doesn't look great, I'll grant you, I do apologise. However, it does have its own power, it does have comms. Yeah, get out of the way, come on. And there we go. Does it break itself to pieces whilst trying to move? Yeah, it does clip, which is unfortunate to say the very least. Yeah, it's not the best looking satellite I've ever made, not by a long way, but it will take care of itself quite happily. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups, and I do have a docking port. So the next plan well, the next part of this mission, which will be in the next episode, I'm afraid to say. I've kind of run out of time. I've been at this for about an hour and 20 minutes now, just trying to keep it all sturdy and structural. Before I go, I'll show you the satellite in the VAB. It is exactly the same as the one we did before, but as you notice here, there's the Probodine units in the middle, but then we don't have another one of these, another fuel tank, and so it's just from here. It was mirrored of this. Now I just cut all of that off, put some monopropellant engines on here, a nose cone, and kept everything else as it is. And we do have monopropellant, so we can move. He says, why is it doing that? Oh, hang on, it's an H and J, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. So H and J adjusts the thrust a different way. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, we'll get to that. I'll talk a lot more about monopropellant and its uses and how it works and what it does in the next episode. But we'll essentially be using this to dock, which is exactly what we'll be doing. We'll be using a monopropellant to come up with, perhaps even just launch this again, just the other half, have them meet in the middle. And we will get to spending that little bit of science I got from Minmus, from the repeating the mission, from doing the landing the flag mission, and recovering the scientific data. But for now, we actually have a satellite up in orbit. So if we head back down to the Space Center now, so that's the second satellite we've got in orbit, but this one is actually a station. This is manned. That is a manned space station. Let's just recover those. Yeah, look, Mark 8. There we go. That was the Mark 8. So that was another 3 versions on top of what I'd already tried to build to get it there. So as you can see, it's exactly the same. We dropped the bigger fuel tanks, or the 2 big fuel tanks at the bottom. The main problem I'm having at the moment is the amount of speed we're carrying through our orbit. It's the aerodynamics. That's what's causing me all the problems in the beginning, or at least I'm pretty sure it is, because when I tried the slower orbit, which you just saw, I made it without any problems, which is wonderful. So yeah, as you can see there, it's exactly the same. We've still got the Probodine, 2 batteries. The panels are on the bottom here. We've got our lights, only the bottom ones, but it's all we need for now, I think. And we have our docking station here, and we just took that up. It works pretty well. A bit of a sketchy moment, but it worked nonetheless. So yeah, there's that. So that's happy days. That's the rocket and the satellite stage that we used. And then if we go into our tracking station, we'll clear up all the debris quickly. And we would have done, but the game's just blown up again. I'll be back in a second. I will show you. Won't be long. So yeah, now that that's all finished blowing up, we'll pop out to the Space Center. What's all this then? These things you see here. They're not things we've got. These are the missions that we currently have. Has that managed to keep it? Yeah, it's managed to keep it. Okay, that's fine. So debris. Oh yeah, Mark 8. Now let's terminate that. Yeah, let's terminate. Now this we need to change. Well, I can't remember how to do that. To change it to a station. So let's take control of it. Yeah, and I think if we go to the Probodine unit. Oh, yeah, that's a battery pack. I can't remember how to change what it is. That's really... Don't I do it from here? I can't remember. Hey everybody, look, BRG showing you how to do stuff on Kerbal again, and he doesn't know how to do it himself. Docking thingy, Mark 8. Information. No. How do I change this? There it is, you click on it. It's a station. So let's go ahead and click station. And there we go, you'll notice it's changed its little symbol as well. It now looks like a satellite. Even though a satellite is, or probes, sorry, they don't call them satellites, they call them probes. Yeah, stations, there we go. So we do have a station up there, which is fantastic. We've got 3 flags. We've got so 1 on there and 2 on Minmus. Oh, where's Minmus? Do I just shoot straight past it? Yeah, Minmus. There's 2 on Minmus. Landing site beta and moon landing site. I've called our Minmus flag The moon landing site Alpha. Oh dear. That's embarrassing. Oh well, it is what it is. So yeah, that's the station, that's up there. And we will attempt to dock with that. That will be the next episode. We're going to send up something, even if it's something tiny, because as you can see I've struggled a little bit with getting into orbit again. Even if it is something tiny, we'll get it out there. And see, look, the probe's got the right symbol there, and the flag's got the right symbol. So yeah, you just literally click on it and click on the little tab above it here, and that will give you the chance. And you can rename it from there as well. Okay, so that's fantastic. All right, that'll be the end of this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry it's been as rubbish as always, but I've still enjoyed making it. I've been BRG. Thank you all very much for watching, and I shall see you all later.